Hi, welcome back. Star Wars Racing Incorporated and Lorex 7. This is going to be our final Runoffs update video. This is the recap of the whole thing. Trying to move along quickly. But it's Friday, so it's a week after the race. So incredible. This week has passed. The whole time has just been like a blur. So enjoy while you're there, and I certainly enjoy my runoffs, even though I had a hell of a week starting on Monday, with issues, small issues really, but prevented me for getting on the track and doing the laps that I was supposed to do. So yeah, basically we had a fuel pickup issue in the back, had a hose that was kink, so whenever I went to power, it will idle fine, but not enough volume to keep to run hard. As soon as you put the pedal down, then it will just run out of fuel. So fighting that problem Monday, 2 sessions I missed them. Tuesday went out for qualifying 1, missed that because the car was shut off as soon as I got on. So missed the first 3 sessions I was supposed to do. Then Tuesday went out, fixed the problem with the fuel pickup with the hose, thanks to Stacy Wilson that came over and helped me out tremendously to find the problem, and then also just put a new hose in there and make sure it was correct. So that was good. So go out on Tuesday and then had an engine problem. So something happened to the engine and it just locked up basically. So missed that session. And then basically I had no times. Every time I broke or the car stopped was before I even had 1 lap. So I had no times. So then it was time to decide. We took the spare engine and took about an hour and a half to decide what I was going to do. So I had limited time. I had to change the engine from Tuesday afternoon, about 3:30 or so, and be ready to go next morning, late morning, really almost after lunch. So I had to be ready so we could go out and qualify for some lap times down. So yeah, decided to do it, and with the help of great people, the SCCA community, I could not have done it without you. So again, Stacy Wilson came over and helped me out with a couple key items. We had to move some components from one engine to the other. So that's really what took the longest. So, but anyways, we get it in about midnight on Tuesday. The engine is back in the car, the backup engine, and then I spend the next 3.5 hours just putting components back, and then next morning, on Thursday morning, then just finalize some of the items, turn the car on, tune it up. Stacy helped me with that again. So yeah, ready to go out. So went out and put about 4 or 5 laps of quali, but in reality it was more of a shakedown to make sure the engine was good, there was nothing leaking, etc., etc. So didn't put any impressive times. Neither was I trying to do so. More than anything, just making sure the car was solid. So with that, then we made it to the race, and we raced on pretty tough conditions, by the way, really tough. There's Obi-Wan Cherokee. I came back so beat up that I haven't even unloaded. So doing that today. Just took some of the essentials out of the car, but basically did not unload it. Doing that now. So we got all the shelves empty. We're gonna be putting things over there, taking care of stuff, so there was no rush to do that. So alright, so on to really the update, which is really 4 things. Oh yeah, I got some cool stuff. Actually, this is part of the update. So I got the fan going. So there's always lessons learned, right? So lessons learned at the runoffs this year. One, well, there's a lot of lessons, but there's 4 points that I want to make. 1 is preparation. 2 is a, staying strong, persevere while you're there. 3 is really community, help, and then 4th is be smart, right? So first is preparation. Really, the car was all good, except for the main part, which is the engine. But everything else that we fixed worked out really, really well. We also came with our rain tires ready to go. That was needed, so we ended up using them pretty much the last 2 days. The rest of the car all worked out good. The problem with the oil coming up the overflow, that's nothing. I just actually, you can see the hood pins are out. And after I did qualifying, I checked, but also after the race, I checked. And yeah, no oil, no nothing. So that's like awesome news. So all the repairs, everything we did worked out, really. So that's where the preparation came in. And also come to the runoffs with everything you need. And in this case, spare engine. And so all of that paid off at the end. If I would have had the problem earlier in the week with the engine, then I would have changed it and I would have not missed the sessions. But that's how it plays sometimes. But again, we were able to take care of it. So that's preparation where it comes in. Next thing is help, right? So the community, they're just good to people that show up, or some people just swing by, and some people, that you do know, and you ask for help and they help you. So between all of those things, that having that help, it's incredible. So without the help, then it's, so it's hard. So make sure you ask for help, or, whatever, something, people just showed up really in this case, And also it's importantly key, so, get out there and talk to people, and you never know who's gonna give you a hand on this and that. So that was key. So I guess, again, the advice that is, get around, talk to people. You go to the parties and talk to people, and be ready to help them. And you may be helping them this time, and then next time they'll help you. Who knows? So the other thing is, persevere. You're there, and you just got to keep rolling. At the runoffs, I wasn't the only one. Tons of people was having problems. Some people didn't even race. Some people went home. Some people had trouble to end the race. You just got to stay strong and, keep at it. You're already there. You already travel. So just stay strong and keep pushing away, I stay until 3:30 in the morning on Thursday night, just working on my engine, and that's what I needed to do in order to be more or less ready next morning so I can make qualifying, because without a time I could not be in the race. So, you got to do what you got to do. And then the last thing is be smart. Be smart, because since I missed all the sessions, then it was gonna be, I decided overnight and say, hey, I need to be responsible here. I need to do this correctly, right? I missed all the sessions pretty much, so I couldn't go into the race thinking, hey, I'm gonna go hard. Truly, I couldn't do that, because then what could have happened? I could have an off myself. What I would have, damaged the race for others. One, right? I could have an off and hit somebody else. That's stupid. And so at that point, you change your focus. Say, hey, you know what? I need to, there was a bad combination. One, very few laps on the track. Two, you're running on a backup engine, so again, you don't want to go crazy pushing. And 3, the conditions were also, so you had 3 elements right there. And so at that point, you have to adjust and say, hey, listen, I need to, just go out there, have fun, race as best as you can, but keeping those things in mind so you're not going to ruin the race for the rest of the group, right? By either having an off or not being aware when leaders are coming by, that kind of stuff. So that was my goal for the race, since I, because of the circumstances. Next year I'm coming strong and ready to push. But this year, because of everything that happened, then you have to be smart to change the plan and say, you know what, I need to, for your own good and also for the race, for the rest of the group. So that's kind of what we did. It's kind of what we did. I still have a great time. My lap times went down for 5 consecutive laps dramatically until I kind of had an off. I was like, okay, all right, hold on, buddy. And then the rain really started picking up. I couldn't see as well in the second half of the race. So at that point, I was just, you know what, let's finish. But I was happy with my own driving. I know it didn't based on the circumstances. So you have to adjust. So, anyways, that's that. And part of the lessons from the runoffs is I didn't have a corded electric little light like this. I have my flashlights, which work out wonderfully. But in reality, now that I have my little generator, I needed something more like this. So my neighbor was letting me borrow his, and this is wonderful. So I went ahead and got me one already. Pretty cheap stuff. These are like $20 at Harbor Freight. Also, I didn't have a brush cleaning set there, so now I have one for traveling. When you're cleaning the engine and all the gasket maker and that kind of stuff, I had a blade, but this will also give you a little bit of leverage. So got me this Harbor Freight again, $1.99. And then just this, we thought we had broken one of these adapters, which I use for my torque wrench. So that would have been unfortunate. So went ahead and got it back up again, $1.99. Stuff you can get for cheap. So that's what's going on. We're gonna unpack this boy, and that is how we are gonna recap the 2022 runoffs. And some people may, for me, successful, right? I know I'm not a front runner. And so I just had to make sure I did what I had to do based on my circumstances to have a good race and have a good time and not affect the race for the leaders and people they're contending for top 10 spots. So mission accomplished. Next year, the goal is to get into that middle pack of cars that are fighting for, that top 10 area. That's really the goal, and that was my goal this year. But obviously, when no track time, car issues, then the smart thing to do is adjust that. Don't want to go into a race and start doing crazy stuff, and then you wreck yourself, and then you damage the race as well. So that's the advice. I'm ecstatic. I was so happy that everything worked out at the end, and I was able to race on Sunday and do what I had to do. So cars in one piece, and we already started working on next year. I already came back with a list of items. Already bought a few besides these. Since I was having those fuel pickup issues, I went ahead and wasn't really happy with my fuel regulator, so I got me a much nicer one. Also got me a fuel PSI gauge, name brand, something that's more proven autometer, so that we can be certain, right, and what we're seeing when we're looking at the readings. So what else? And also my AFR, it's not working. So this is working, this part's working, but the actual, the pickup thing. So I had to buy that too, because I wasn't sure what we were doing with the AFR. So all that stuff is done. We're gonna start installing next week. Get ourselves ready for the Super Tour coming up in January and the majors. So that's how we say goodbye to the runoffs. So pretty happy, really happy with the results at the end, given the circumstances. And that's what you got. You got to take sometimes what's there. So don't go crazy, don't go loco. So all right, that's what's going on here. We're gonna say adios until the next edition here. But this is the final recap for the 2022 SCCA runoffs at Virginia International. We're coming strong next year. Watch out for us.